Let me know if you can hear me.
Hi,
Hi,
love.
love.
Hey, hey.
How are you?
Good. Look, I was like, I'm over here. I'm trying to make sure let me just unplug it because you know what? I'm trying to make sure. Look, everybody, Alexa gonna start going off. But I'm like, I'm trying to make sure. She just started talking right before, and I'm like, you know what? Not today.
Not today. I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Excited.
Now she won't be interrupting the live.
Perfect.
Hi. This is so,
Hi.
oh my goodness, I can't, we're doing this.
We're doing this. I'm excited.
I know, right?
It's gonna be a
Looking
good
good,
talk.
girl. Looking good.
Come on, curls. Yes, me too. Your color is stunning, by the way. My
Oh,
gosh.
thank
I
you.
love.
I love me some bright colors. Love me some bright
Yes.
colors. Let's see here. And I made sure that I got my agenda so my Finding
Yes.
Dory does not find
Yes.
its
I got mine
way.
pulled up.
Awesome. Well, awesome. Welcome everyone. Hi.
I love
Let's
it.
see. So, how was your day?
It was good. It was really good. It's busy, but I'm happy to hop on here and talk about that important topic with
I
you.
know. Yes, so important. So important. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll let you look, I'm like,
Yeah. First of all, okay, so what I'm really excited to talk about is we are basically going to be talking about the natural hair community and pretty much texturism and how length plays a role in learning to love and take care of our hair and those beauty standards surrounded by length and textures and how that
Mhm.
plays a role not only in our mental health, but understanding the relationship with our natural hair.
Right.
So, which is something that I really feel like is underestimated and not talked about enough. And the things that we tell ourselves and expose ourselves to, both online and offline, and how that impacts us and our hair and how we
Right.
show up. So,
Right. Right. So yeah, that's definitely so I know, well, first of all, like even how we met. I was like,
yeah.
that part I feel is important. I guess we can maybe like, start there introducing, my name is Rhonda. Uh with Linda's Mixing Hair by Rondiva, but I was really taken when I started following you. I was telling you I don't necessarily always, go and follow all of the curly hair influencers and things like that just because I don't always, relate. With
Yeah.
your content, I related because one of the things is trying to boost women to feel good in their own skin. And so for
Yes.
me, that was really, awesome because as a hairstylist,
Mm.
as a curly hair hairstylist, I have been, you know, on the scene for, so long, but specializing in only curly hair for the last like 17 years of my career. And so
Yes.
because of that, I have seen so much behind the chair and the vulnerability of my clients and discussing how they feel about wearing their hair curly and different things. And you were addressing so many of the things that I address with my clients on a daily.
Yeah.
And so that was just really awesome to me. So oh, thank you. Yeah, so so yeah, that definitely is something that we talked about, and one of the things about the natural hair and curly hair community as a whole,
Yeah.
the judgment. One of the videos that you had that stood out to
Mhm.
me was the curl typing.
Yeah.
And yeah, curl typing was one that I felt the same way. Look, call it old school, call it whatever you want to call it.
I love
But
it.
I posted a picture the other day that I've been wearing my hair, natural in my curly state for over 20 years now. Before
Yeah.
it was popular, before it was a thing, before it was, and the reason why was because I wanted to embrace what naturally came out of my hair, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Out of my scalp. And that's
Hmm.
the same thing that I try to help my clients. There's no such thing as, like good hair, bad hair. I always say good hair is healthy hair.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, good hair is healthy hair.
Yes.
I tell my
Yes.
clients that all the time.
Yeah.
Manage your hair, take care of your crown,
Mm.
and you're gonna be okay. You
Yeah.
know, it's gonna end up being where it needs to be. So,
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, and I think for me, when I never liked the curl chart. I really feel like it compacts people and tries to put them in a box. And a lot of individuals have more than one curl pattern anyway. So I really feel like at the end of the day, what truly matters is going to really be more understanding, how to apply these products, technique, the relationship you have with your hair, and just being in a space to really spend time with your hair and learn your hair. And I feel like a lot of the times, we're being fed like, okay, these products cater to this, these products cater to this,
mhm,
and we're spending money, 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 money,
mhm,
money. And it can be exhausting because a lot of the times it's not
right,
even, it has nothing to do with the curl pattern, everything to do with just technique and
exactly.
understanding your hair. So I feel like it just constricts people, and then that starts the whole wave of comparison
Yes,
and not feeling enough or feeling defeated, and it just takes away from the
mhm,
experience you get to have with your hair. So
right.
I've never loved it, and
No,
I think it creates a space of honestly like bullying and judging,
mhm,
truly. So
mhm.
ugh.
Yeah, that definitely is something that, yes, as definitely one of the things. It's it's so much tension behind that for me. It's like profiling your hair.
Yeah.
We talk about profiling in other areas, racially profiling and different things like that. But the thing is that the hair texture chart does that, because
Right.
it'll be certain things that will say, okay, so then once you know what curl number you have or
Mhm.
whatever, okay, great, so then what are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
My big
Right.
thing is that what are you going to do with that? People say, well, then that helps me to find a product. But
Mm.
then you have tried 10 different products only to find that you like something from here, something
Mhm.
from here, not from there, all of that. So really knowing that curl number has really not helped you, except for to feel either lower or higher than you really should.
Yeah. No,
You
I
know?
I agree.
Yeah. So that's the part that I feel like with the curl number, is really off.
Yeah.
That we talked about before, things that affect the hair. The main thing that people need to, really focus on when it comes to the hair, is your lifestyles. You can have someone over here with, whatever you call 4C hair or whatever. You have one that has the texture here, they have color in their hair. Another
Mhm.
one, they're very active. They're very active.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
another one that's you know um it lives in Arizona, and another one that lives in New York.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
water, all those different things are completely different, so it's going to affect the hair. And if
Yes.
it's going to affect the hair, it doesn't matter if you went and got this product that says it's good for 4C hair. That's the reason why when I started formulating my products, I formulated my products based on curly hair and what it needs, so they can
Yeah.
feel nutrients, fill in what is good for the curls, so that they can thrive and live where they
Yes.
want to live, so they can be
Yeah.
hydrated. Let me tell you, first of all, curls love hydration, period.
Period.
you know Period. They love to be hydrated. That's
Yep.
when you're going to have your best hair.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I will say too, and I think when people see other people online, that, all you can do is make assumptions. You don't know someone's health journey. You don't know how the weather is playing an impact. I mean, for me, I have a lot of currently internal things happening and hormonal issues happening that have played a role in my hair. And also diet, vitamin
Yes.
deficiencies. There's so many things. And so that's why I'm saying, like, when you build that relationship with your hair, you're really going to
Mhm.
spend more time to understand it on a deeper level and not worry about so much like a product's going to fix this, because
Right.
a lot of the times it's, to me, it's just a band-aid. And I've really preached that, because it's like you really don't know, you like, okay, if you're online and you're not someone that has really spent time with your hair, and you've always just done what, someone, an influencer has posted, or
Mhm.
what's currently trending, that
Yeah.
could really hinder you,
Yep.
because at the end of the day, we've heard what works for someone might not work for someone else,
Mhm.
which is true. But at the end of the day, we don't know each other's bodies, and we don't know
Mhm.
what we're doing on our day to day.
Right.
How are we applying product? What does our wash day look like? Are you cleansing, or are you only, co-washing? So there's
Mhm.
so many things, that play a role, which is why I think it's really important to have that foundational love and relationship with your hair. And I
Right.
love, I'm like, name your hair, because it's like y'all are going to be besties. Okay. Y'all are going to tussle a little bit, but you're going to treat it the way you would like to be treated as an individual. And it makes a really big difference.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And what you said, and that's one thing that I've always had, you know, uh, in the salon, we call it YouTube University, and it's like,
Yes.
listen, if you come sit in my chair telling me what you this and that about YouTube University instead of what I'm telling you as a licensed professional, we got a
I
problem.
know. Yes,
But
I know.
and I tell people, I'm like, listen, that person
Mhm.
that you're watching, yes, that works for their hair, that is great and everything, and certain parts of it could possibly work for you. However, comma dot dot
Mhm.
dot.
Yeah.
Uh, they are only um skilled in what they do to their own hair.
Mhm.
That's their hair. That works for them, and that's great. However, they're not saying, at least everyone is not saying, especially you, I've never heard you say, do this because this is what you're gonna have to do to get this and that and da da da
Yeah.
da. You share your journey. You
Yes.
share your journey. People can take from that what they would like to take from it, and
Yes.
it could possibly work. However, the thing is that, you know this is where I'm happy that, as from a professional background, and then also from your background, that able to be able to connect to say, okay, well, um you know this is where the merge happens, where it's like, okay, you are um with your hair, and you can tell
Mhm.
everyone your journey and different things like that. But I saw, like, you went and got a curly cut the other day and everything, looking good, all of that. You still have the professional aspect in there, which
Yeah.
is helpful when you can find someone who you can trust, when
Yeah.
you can find that person. And everyone hasn't found that person, and that's
Mhm.
one of the things that's really hard. They haven't found that person, and they go from influencer to influencer to influencer. This person uses this, and they're chasing after something, that
Mhm.
chasing after someone else's hair, when
Yeah.
the reality is that may never. I have clients, I tell them, I said, listen, I know what your goal is, however, what you're going after, that's not for you. And
Yeah.
so sometimes we have to understand that sometimes our hair may never do something. Someone with, like, a fourth of your hair that you have on your head, I don't care how much they grow it, I don't care how much product they use, I don't care. It is just not going to be. My hair is not even going to be that full, because I just, I can pick it to the heavens, and
Yeah.
you
Right.
know So,
I get
I
that.
think, sometimes we chase after what someone else is instead of just really
Mhm.
loving where we are and saying, you know what? Okay, this is what I got. Let me see how I can work with it.
Yeah. And something that also is so important for people to know when you're someone who's consuming a lot online, which that was a lot of what I did prior, I struggled a lot. And a lot of things I appreciated was people who were vulnerable and honest about their hair journey, because a lot of what goes on behind the scenes, people have no clue. Like, social media is a highlight reel. So for me, I am in a place where I was like, there was days where I would be miserable with my hair because of I'm going through like internal issues and it's
Mhm.
impacting. There's a section of my hair in the back top area that if you were in person, you would be able to see it better. But
Mhm.
it's an area that I've been struggling with, and it's something that I have to go through in battle. And I'm taking vitamins, and I'm keeping a hair journal. I'm being very aware of how I'm treating my hair because as I've gotten older, like I'm 33 next month, but my hair behavior when I was 20
Mhm.
is nothing like my hair behavior now. And that's something no one talked to me about. So I
Yeah.
was panicking for a while.
Yeah.
And so there's just a lot of things that play a role that no one knows. They see you online and they're like, it's perfect. I wish I had her hair. But people really don't know, what really goes on behind the scenes with our hair. And so I want people to know if there's one thing I want people to take away, comparison is the thief of joy.
Mhm.
Truly. And I
Mhm.
don't want anyone
Yep.
to ever think that there's a single individual online that has a perfect head of hair, that
No.
has perfect anything. There's a
Mhm.
lot of struggles that people have no idea about. So for me, getting my hair cut and sharing about, my breakage and, the ends of my hair look healthy on camera, not
Right.
in person. And
Yeah.
so people were really shocked. They were just like, oh, okay, I didn't know. But there was a lot going on. And
Yeah.
so I want people to know, listen, I had breakage, it was going up the hair shaft. I'm having some issues. And I was willing to let the length go because something that's important to know, length does not define beauty, period,
No,
ever.
not at all.
But
Not at
with
all.
social media, it's
Yes.
such an important factor, and people
Yeah.
compare themselves constantly. All these hair growth vitamins and liquid Mary Ruths, people back here taking
Yeah.
everything. I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
you
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
comparison is a thief of joy. Length will never define your beauty.
No.
Take that away.
Not at all. Yeah, my friend, actually, my bestie who's on here, Amy. Hey guys, I see a couple of people. Hey. We trying to look. My brain will go like so sidetracked so fast, but I feel like we need to speak to some of these beautiful
Yes.
people on here. Hi, how are you guys doing? Hey, Gail. So we were talking about that as far as length. Um, and one of the things about it, we were even talking about because like sometimes like she wears her hair, she'll cut her hair off real
Yeah.
fast. Like she'll be like, come and sit down, like grow it all out, and then be like, okay, you know what? I want a pixie today, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, and she'll go cut it all off. And then a few weeks later, she might like go somewhere just like whatever and then just throw a wig on or something. And it's like, but it's not because she doesn't want to show her hair. It's really just because she just wants to do something fun that day. She wants to do something different, look different. That is okay. And like, but then you have some that feel like if their hair is this short, even my length, they're like,
Mhm.
I can't wear my hair unless it's like curly girl influencer hair.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you're not
Hmm.
gonna walk around. Everyone is not gonna have curly girl influencer hair when they wake up.
Yeah.
Just like
Right.
period.
Right.
Period. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And it's like even I have another friend, her hair will stretch all the way down to here.
Hmm.
When it is curly, it's
Yeah.
shorter than mine.
Yes.
It is shorter than
Shrinkage.
mine. And
Shrinkage.
it's never going to, unfortunately, with her, there is no product. Like even with like, um like the my curl cream, it like stretches, it'll help to like stretch the curl and stuff like that, but not
Hmm.
that.
Right.
It's still, it'll stretch like that first day, but then
Yeah.
over a few days, what is it gonna do? It's gonna start shrinking. That
Yeah.
you can't help that. And that's actually healthy hair.
I was just gonna say,
That's
shrinkage is
actually
so
healthy
beautiful.
hair.
Yes.
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 When your hair starts to shrink, people fight it so
They
much, but the reality
do.
is that the elasticity in the hair is good. You want your hair to
Yes.
shrink up. You
Yes.
want that. The elasticity and porosity of the hair, when it's good, it's going to shrink, because also the humidity from the air and things like that, it gets in there. Your hair loves it. It wants
It
it,
loves
and it
it.
shrinks up. And
Yes.
so, because of that, so it's like you fight that, and it's like,
I know.
hey, mom, hey, I
I
guess that's my
know.
baby.
Oh, I love it.
Um,
Yeah.
Disco Honey said, I definitely struggle with that. Well, and you're not the only one. It's so many people that really struggle with that. I have clients, unfortunately, they'll sit in my chair, and it's like, they'll say they're not going to wear their hair natural until it's a certain length,
Yeah.
and they keep hiding it. I do silk press and things like that on my clients, and when I do silk press, I'm one of the hairstylists that does not strip the curl pattern and things like that. But however, I always tell them, I'll be like, now, I'm only doing this until the ultimate goal is for you to wear these curls.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have helped so many women to embrace, and so many, not just women, but young girls
Mhm.
who feel that it's so sad. They put braids in and weaves and stuff constantly because of trying to keep up with a social media hype.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, because if more people would just really embrace what they have on their hair and make that, you know,
Yeah.
normal, like normalizing any of your shrinkage, any of your length, normalizing that, taking care of the crown that's on your head. Okay, so what? All right, so it's short, you got a lot of shrinkage. What are you
Right.
gonna do? Figure out, like, okay, what am I gonna do with my
Mhm.
hair to work with it? How do I make my hair what is like presentable? So you want
Right.
to say you want it presentable, and this is that. Okay, shape it. I saw you say something about, shaping it and things like that. And, but it's like,
Yes.
okay, so,
Have
shape it,
fun.
work with it,
Yeah.
make it do what
Yeah.
it do.
Yeah.
Maybe, if you want to play around, put some two-strand twist in it to stretch it. Cause that's what my friend does. She has a lot of shrinkage, but if
Yeah.
she wants it lengthened, unfortunately, that's just, she got to take that extra time and do that.
Yeah.
But that's okay,
Yeah.
because she loves her, and it stays really good because of the shrinkage. So there are pros and cons that, people look at, and most people look at the cons of things, but the pros of actually having that shrinkage is that it'll actually hold curl
Yeah.
really good when you get a routine going. It
True.
holds it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and holds it.
Yeah, I think too, when I did my very first big chop, I've done three, and I learned something different each time. And so the first time I did it, I truly was in a place where I needed to let go of my hair. And the relationship I had with my hair at that time was not a healthy one, which is why now I am like, I talk about it, how important it is, because at that point I was constantly in a place of like dyeing it, bleaching it. I never felt like it was enough. Like I always felt like I had to make a change. I had to do something crazy with it in order to feel relevant, basically.
Hmm.
It was a weird relationship with my hair at the time. So I decided that, I'm done trying to damage it. I could tell it was tired.
Hmm.
Okay. Tina was like, Allie, put one more bleach bottle near me. I'm gonna show you. And I decided to go and get my hair cut off. And I had a really fun like pixie cut and the bottom was short, the top was pulled over in the front.
Mm,
And I loved it, but I will tell you, it took me, I had to spend time with myself. I had to journal. I had to really, really spend time with my hair and figure out what was the foundational issue that I was having with my hair. And it truly was the fact that I never felt like it was enough. And
mhm,
I couldn't keep my hands out of it. I didn't feel, beautiful anymore. I felt like, nothing I did to it was going to make it what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to look like someone else's on social media at the time. I was
mhm.
always comparing and
Yeah.
scrolling, taking screenshots and being like, I want my hair to look like this. It
Right.
was so
Right.
miserable. And
Right.
so I really, after I cut it, that's when I realized just how beautiful the relationship could be. Like I enjoyed the journey. So, all those awkward phases, I just embraced it, had fun with it, and I
Mhm,
couldn't believe like my hair was growing back. I even forgot about it. I really did.
mhm,
And it was
mhm,
in that moment that I became very comfortable with my hair at all
mhm.
lengths. So
Right.
it is a mental health journey. And I think a
Yes.
lot of the time no one really talks about it. And so
Mhm.
when people are like crying when they do the big chop,
Yeah.
I get so emotional because I understand, and people are like, it's just hair. And I'm here to tell you it's not just hair.
Yeah.
And so I feel like with, people, it's important to know that mental health relationship with your hair is one that people cannot underestimate. You got to have it.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so, but the rest of the times was insecurities I had. I struggled with my facial features. So I
Mhm.
used to hide
Right.
behind my hair a lot. So I cut my hair off again and did a really shorter fro, super, super, super little. And I let my face be more exposed. And that's when I went to a
Mhm.
barber and I showed him a photo and I said, buzz it. I said, do something fun with it. And so that was my first time seeing a barber. So I got out of my comfort zone and was experimenting more,
Right.
and learning to look at my face without my hair, covering stuff. So
Yeah.
each time was a very valuable lesson that I learned. And so, but the number one thing was that mental health component and the relationship that I had with myself and my hair. So
Yes, yes, that's definitely something. I actually just had a client, and that was one of the things that I actually posted that about that journey is like, I mean, when cutting hair is not just cutting hair.
yeah,
A lot of times it involves so many different things for different people. Hi, Felicia. So many. It's funny she popped on right now, but so many things where it's like letting go. For some it's letting go of negativity. For
yeah,
others it's starting fresh in life, is starting over with different things. They may have just grieving and things like that. And people say sometimes maybe you shouldn't do stuff like that when you're grieving. I always look, when my clients want a big chop, I always ask them, I'd be like, you're not PMSing, are you? I'm like, cause I'm like, wait a minute, cause I'm like this, but
yeah,
when something more permanent happens, as far as trauma
yeah.
that's long going, long term, a lot of times people really just want to shed,
Mm,
and sometimes that's really good. It's like purging, how people like do a clean out and they're like, you know what? And they have, sometimes so people have this hair that they just won't let go. Like it's a security blanket, even
yeah,
though it's not serving them in any kind of way. It's not
yeah.
healthy. It's not, any of that. It's just a security blanket.
Mm,
And, to pull in a ponytail to say, well, what if one day I'm not? And I'm like, let it go.
yeah,
Let it go. And
yeah,
when they do, the way they come alive, like
yeah.
at first for some it's a shock, but then
Mhm.
after they get used to it, it's like kind of like a new person. Like
Yeah.
each time they're coming in, I'm like, oh,
Oh,
excuse me, like who are you? Like, you
yeah.
know
I love
yeah. So
it.
I said we are so hard on ourselves. We are beautifully made if we stop comparing ourselves to others, which is hard, very hard not to. That's correct. And that's exactly comparing ourselves. We all were created individually. Like
Yeah.
we're all different. So
Yes.
that's the thing. Like that's what makes the beauty of the human race, period, is
Yeah.
that everyone's hair is so unique to you, you know.
Yes.
Everyone's unique to you. It's like, even when it comes to, like, I think about my sister, my mom,
Mhm.
and I. Every last one of us, like, we had similarities in our hair, but like, all of our hair is different. It does
Yeah.
something different. We're in the same gene pool, in the same house. So how do you think that you know, when people are looking at someone else on social media and say, I want my hair like this, you're not even in the same gene pool. You're not even in the same household. You know,
Listen.
so it's
And
it's
it's
gonna be okay.
And for me, I always repeat this, like, we are, no one is you and that is your power. There's a reason why I repeat that, because at the end of the day, that is such a beautiful thing to have. The fact that no one can replicate you.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can't. So, and at the end of the day, you bring something unique and beautiful to the table. And that's what I love about all the different textures and the length and the
Hmm.
densities. Like, we all come
Yes.
together and it's something absolutely so
So
beautiful.
beautiful.
And and I love this comment. I don't believe in saying someone has good hair. Yes, we had just talked about that. Um,
Yes.
and that's the whole thing about it is there's a lot of nasty narrative surrounded by natural hair, black hair. And I am telling people, when we feed into that negativity,
Hmm.
that fire will continue to grow. But
Right.
something that is so powerful, we have the power to change the narrative
Hmm.
immediately. And the number one thing to stop and to change that narrative, show up as the example you wish to see more of.
Right.
In
Right.
your Show up in your community, show up at your neighbor's
Hmm.
house, show up for the little
Hmm.
girls and little boys at school. I mean, there's so many ways to really change that narrative and to put that positivity back out there and to completely swipe the plate clean and to start fresh. And I tell people, like, just show up the way that you want to see others, the way that you
Hmm.
wish to see. There's something so beautiful about being able to make an impact on strangers. I mean, you never know. And the fact that, like, when I went to the grocery store, it's my favorite story to, like, tell, because I was minding my own business. I had one headphone in because sometimes people say things to me and they can't see I have headphones in. And I don't ever want anyone to miss, like, I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them. And
Right.
so I was walking to my car and this woman ran up and stopped me and she said, "Thank you." And I genuinely was like, "Oh my God, like, okay, but, like, what happened? Like, well, okay." And she was like, "I am going to wear my natural hair tomorrow." And when I tell you, it was like, I almost cried. And it was a mixture of, like, the fact that she took the time to come over, the fact that I was in my own world talking about how
Mhm.
the egg prices were too high. Like, and this beautiful angel comes over to let me know that you never know who you can inspire. You never know.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so it was a beautiful interaction. And so I'm always thinking, like, when you show up, you're allowing permission. You're giving permission to someone else that's like, "Hey, I showed up. You can definitely do it. You can
Mhm.
definitely do it." To all the events, because we are rocking our natural hair to these events. Okay.
Right. Right.
Unapologetically.
Like, your hair is the event. I always tell my clients, I'll be like, your hair is the event. Stop
Okay.
it. I'm like, stop. But that's what,
Yes.
and see, Gail, you're saying, I feel you. That's why I do wigs, because my hair is thin. And that is something that I want to, address that too, because that is something that genuinely, unfortunately, some people, that is, it's, over time of things that, have played a role in life, and, medications. And I know, especially, thyroid and blood pressure medication, and different things are the thief of hair. I mean, it's just really,
Yes.
and so, in those situations, that person is not necessarily just hiding themselves or hiding their hair just because it's like, oh, because it's natural, or because it's short, is because they just really, have other issues going on. And so, you understand that. And, it's like, even those who may have alopecia and different things like that.
Yes.
It's unfortunate that it has been robbed from some,
Yeah.
and they would love to, be able to just rock, hey, even this much all over, you know what I'm saying? For it to be
Yeah.
full. So remember that also, that when you're saying my hair or whatever is this short, so I can't wear it natural, or it's this short, I can't wear it natural, that's not cute. Just think about those that genuinely cannot,
Yeah. At
because
all.
they have,
Yeah.
patches in their head or something, or the scalp, and they cannot wear their hair out, and they would love it, you know.
Mhm.
So, that's something that so many people may just actually really want and can't have,
That's true.
So,
That's true. And I feel
yeah.
like that's also like a perfect segue of, even though I am always going to, talk about celebrating natural hair, one thing that I've noticed in the curly community, the bullying, okay, the
Hmm.
judging and the tearing other people down based off
Yeah.
of choices they decide
Yeah.
to make with their hair. And
Yeah.
especially if they decide to wear wigs, if they decide to relax their hair, at the end
Hmm.
of the day, I care about someone's health, okay? That's
Yes.
what I care about.
Yes.
But I will never, ever make someone feel badly about the choices they
Hmm.
decide to make with their
Hmm.
hair. And I always want people to know, like, my space on my page is a safe space, no matter what kind of hair you have. Because at the end of the day, I want people to know, though, at the end of the day, they are enough.
Yes.
That's really the
Yes.
point.
Yep.
But the bullying and the nasty attitudes and
Hmm.
being rude to people and questioning someone else's texture,
Right.
that's why I hate, like,
Right.
saying the natural hair community, the curly
Hmm.
community. I'm
Yeah.
in my own community. I created my own one. So y'all come on over.
Right. That's
It's
like my
party.
friend and client. They're saying, I don't believe in saying someone has good hair. I believe that all can have good hair. That is correct. And so I'm so happy. Look, I'm like,
Right.
that's, and that's the
Thank you.
thing. That's what we just talked about. It's like, you know, good hair is healthy hair. And like you said, caring about the health of the hair. There are some people, I have not done a relaxer in probably 17 plus years,
Well,
like
yeah.
on a client. I stopped doing relaxers like point blank. It wasn't
Mhm.
for me, it was a matter of, that was just the type of stylist that I chose to become. I
Yeah.
understood, and I had clients that are like, and I'm like, I understand. And I gave them referrals to someone that I knew would do it and take care of their hair. I never
Mhm.
endorsed them doing it themselves or anything like that, because I'm like, and years later, that person, their hair is, still healthy and everything like that. They're getting it taken care of. They're going to a professional to get it done, doing the things that they, ought to do. And it's
Yeah.
just not their space right now. That's not
Mhm.
what, they decide to do. So I'm not going to say, oh, well, even, my products, I even have a thing on there where I say, even if your hair is, not curly and it is relaxed or something, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because that's the thing. Like, everyone does not always, they're not always there yet, but they
Yeah.
may get there, and that's fine, but it's definitely something that healthy hair is the agenda. Like, let's make
Yes.
that the agenda.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, anytime if I know that there's issues with my hair, I will forever choose health over length every single time. And something I learned a valuable lesson when I tried to hold on to length at one point of my life. And it really just went up. It kept going up that hair shaft. And I was like, you know what? So I had to cut off more, but these are lessons that I like. For some reason, I learned mine the hard way. I don't know why.
Hmm.
That was me. But it was it's a journey for a reason. And so I really tell people, you can't rush it. You can't don't try to overthink it. Don't put pressure on yourself. It's a journey. And I started my journey wearing curly hair half wigs because I didn't know how to properly style my curls. And I was overwhelmed with the thought of
Uh-huh.
styling my whole head.
Right.
So I just left the front out and was working with
Mhm.
that. and until
Mhm.
I felt more comfortable. And
Right.
but what was important was to have a wig at the time that matched my texture,
Yes.
so I could get used to seeing myself. And
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
that's how I started out.
Yeah.
And so you never know someone's journey. You never.
Exactly. Yeah. I have a client. We literally for, ooh, I think it was about a year. She was, I would shampoo her hair, condition her hair, trim her hair, and she would come in, get it blow dried, and she'd be like, do a length check and be like, okay. And we would braid it down, and she would walk out of the salon with her wig on. And
Yeah.
she did that for like a year. And then one day I said, let's flat iron it and see.
Mhm.
So she flat ironed it, and she was like, it's too short. And she put her wig on.
Okay.
However, she went home,
Uh-huh.
didn't have her wig on, and her husband was like, you gonna take that wig off. Your hair looks so like no. Like, no, not finna wear the wig. She finally
Yeah.
got the courage. She wore her hair, and that
Mm.
was the end of it. That was the end of the wigs.
Yeah.
So the thing is that she was at least taking care of her hair
Yeah.
to get to that point.
Yep.
So, if you can't finish something unless you start.
Yeah.
So always start, because if you never start, you can't finish. you
Yes.
know? So you
Yeah.
can come to a beautiful end, and it's always going to be a journey. It's always going to be a journey. It's always, we're women. We always want to do something different. We always want to,
Yeah.
that's the reason why you go playing around with that color, because you start looking. But
Really
next
do.
time, next time, I'm gonna need to put that color in your hair, not you. I'm like,
Oh
let me play in there.
my God. I am notorious. And you saw I did my bangs for
Yes.
it lasted one business day. Okay. Oh my God.
She said one business day. I'm so done.
I'm done with myself. I said, Allie, no, you knew. Why did you tell me to do that? Oh my God. But we're good. We're back. The banks are back. We're back. We're good. But I
That
am
is too
notorious.
funny.
I almost fell back into my old ways.
Yeah, I used to do that, but I'm like, I've had my hair red.
Yes.
I've had my hair red for so long, so long. But I know one time I went blonde, and I was like, what was you thinking? What were you thinking? This ain't it. Thankfully, it was blonde, and I was like, I just dumped some red on it, and we were back.
Yes.
And we were back.
I have done that. So listen, I went blonde and tell me why it turned green. I was like, oh. So I went and dumped like the Cara color reddish pink dye. Oh my gosh. My mom said you look like a mermaid because I had 30 colors going on in my hair. Like she was like, you're a beautiful mermaid, but which color are you trying to go?
Oh my goodness!
We were dying. I was sick. I don't. It turned green. This is what I get though.
That you had to
Like
put black in it first, right?
I did.
Yeah,
It,
yeah, yeah. I
oh,
always tell people yellow and blue makes green, and you probably had a blue base black in your hair. Yeah, the blonde is a yellow base, so yellow and blue makes green.
it- well, I learned that day. And let me tell you also, are you familiar with Color Oops?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. I use that so many times because I
Oh
would
my
dye my hair
goodness!
and I'd be like, hate it, remove it, and like numerous times. Okay, my hair texture, it went away, and
Wow.
it was like my hair disintegrated in real time. It was awful. So I no longer touch no color mover allowed in this household. But I figured out that vitamin C pills crushed up with Head and Shoulders shampoo in a blender removes black box dye.
Oh yeah, I think you told me about that, and I was like, what?
Tell me why I'm in the
Yeah.
kitchen cooking it up, okay? Like, and my husband looking at me like, what is in that blender? Listen,
Girl,
I have a hair blender and a food blender,
Lord have
okay?
mercy.
I don't play. So, but
Oh goodness.
we're back to natural hair color, and
Oh,
listen,
man.
I had a
Mm-mm-mm.
moment. We're good now.
Oh yeah, she said ginger hair. My mother dyed me blonde once. She didn't like it much. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Blonde is just not for me. I do it on I do it on my clients and stuff. But I'm like, yeah. Some people say that natural hair isn't for everyone. It is attached to your head. It don't get more for you than that. I know that's for real. That's my best friend. She's like, yeah, right. Natural hair is not for you, right? Yeah, exactly. It came out your head, so it's for you.
It's for you.
It's for you.
It's for you.
I
Oh
would
my
never know. I wanted to
goodness.
say hello, and you're awesome. Oh, Allie, someone she said you're awesome. I said, oh,
Hi. Look, y'all, I'm
okay.
missing all these comments.
I
Hello.
know. Look, I'm sitting up here. I'm like, okay. I want to let. Yeah. So yeah, that definitely. Color is one thing too that will, it will alter the texture of the hair. I actually use more like, plant based coloring and stuff like that, like in my salon. So
Mm-hmm.
because of that, it does. Limit the effects of the color on the hair so that it doesn't alter the curl pattern and things like that, and
Yeah.
break the hair and make it feel all dry and wonky and stuff. So color can be tricky when it comes to your
Yeah.
curls. You
Yeah.
definitely again have to make sure that whoever is doing it, hey Lisa, whoever is doing it, is taking care of business, and they're reputable or whatever.
Yep.
I used to be like, okay, for me, I'm like, if I'm gonna mess my hair up, let me do it myself. Don't let me go to somebody else and they mess my hair up. I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah. Listen. Yeah, yeah. That's a scary feeling. I've only had that once, but I was living in Charlotte, and that was when my hair was bleached, and it was natural color, but she had bleached it, but she had left it on really long, and I was sitting in the chair like, um,
Oh,
something's not right.
oh,
I was like, oh my God. And I said, can we wash this out? And she like lifted to take a look, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my.
oh no.
So like my curl pattern was so loose, but I left out of there with grace and compassion, and I went on YouTube University and I found out about Alpha G protein treatment real quick. Oh my God.
Lord have mercy.
And yeah, but I did the protein treatment, and I was patient with my hair, and it came back, but I was like, oh
Yeah,
no. So I always get very anxious about color, but
yeah,
normally
yeah,
like now I feel good about going and getting like a trim or a cut, but
yeah.
color I'm like I can't.
Because you've been
I've
traumatized.
been-
I mean, honestly, that happens, and it's always hard. I always tell people, I'm like, and they've been traumatized, and I say, just let me do it. Come
Yes.
sit in my chair. I promise you, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Look, I have to do that. I'll be like, you're gonna be okay. Like I do my 3-year-old. I'm like, it's okay.
It's
It's okay.
okay.
You got a little boo boo, but it's okay.
It's
Because I'm
okay.
gonna take care of you. I got you.
Oh my
Hey
God.
Desiree. Somebody said I'm also struggling with my hair texture changing in the middle of my head. Now,
Mhm.
so you talked about that earlier, and I was gonna say, so I'm gonna say this as a stylist. One of the things, common stress points for women here, your
Mm.
temples, and here in the back.
Yep.
Those are common stress points. So those areas start to do different things. And the other part is here, the reason why sometimes the texture is different here is because when you are doing your hair, you get the shampoo and you do this.
Mm.
Everything goes here first because
Mhm.
That's a natural. So if you notice that area sometimes will just require additional hydration. So when
Yeah.
you're, in the shower and you're wetting your hair, the best thing to do is to like really like go over your hair like that, like with water, and
Yes.
let the water get in, because the when your hair is soaking wet, the cuticle is swollen. So
Mm-hmm.
then you're actually allowing more to get in.
Mm.
You're opening that up and getting that water, that hydration to plump that hair. And you just really have to work with that section more and really take the time to just really love on it. Really just give it its time and love on it, and it'll start to help a little bit.
And
And then
that's a good point, because for me, I realize like the also when you're in the shower, that's the immediate point that the water is
mhm,
falling on. And if you
mhm,
take hot showers, I
yeah.
have to do the thing where if I'm while I'm doing my hair and my body's in the water, but my hair is out, and then I turn
Mhm.
it back to cooler water, and I'm in there like like
Right,
just
exactly.
bending my
Exactly. Like,
the things we do, because my hair took a big hit with that hot. I like hot water. Okay. So
yes.
now I'm doing
But that
like
hair don't love it. That conditioner, when you get the conditioner, it's like you
listen.
gotta lock it in. Lock
Yes,
it in.
my hair loves cold water.
Yes.
She's like, Allie, if you don't put the cold water on, like
Yeah.
please put it on. And it's night and day. Like frizz will happen when I have hot water and I get out. And then when I rinse with cold water, the curls are juicy. I'm like, "Ah." So it's a stress point.
Yes.
Ponytails,
Exactly.
side puffs.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And then, and also just massaging that area is really good too, because the circulation sometimes, when it is a stress point, it gets tight there. So making sure to just keep that blood flow going, and just really, giving yourself a like 5 minute just scalp massage, or, you know,
Yeah.
your husband, in case they're listening, you
Um,
they can massage it for you. You
right.
know.
I'm about to. Come on, Nicholas. Come
So,
again.
all of that. And then someone said how to treat dry ends. I've already trimmed them, but still feels brittle. Um, so the thing is that sometimes with dry ends, it really depends on what's going on. Do you have color in your hair? Because if you don't have color, what could be happening is, like I just said, it could just not be being hydrated properly and
Mhm.
going through the process. Because what you want to do is really feel your hair. You want it to feel like ribbon when you're putting that conditioner in, and you want it to go through, and you want it to feel like ribbon all the way through to the end, so that you're making sure that you're like really getting that product into the hair. And it's so weird, like the feeling of it compared to the rest of my hair. hmm I'm struggling with a product that don't make my curls hard, but still allows my curls to form and elongate. Try lindasmix.com.
You heard it here
Linda,
first.
Linda's Mix,
Linda Smith.
mixx.com.
Yes.
No,
But
seriously, I get it. That
yeah.
is, and that I've had that definitely that issue before with my own, which is the reason why I formulated my hair product line. We talked about that, Allie, and that was,
Yes.
it's one of the things that it's like, yeah, you can get, it's hard to get one without the other. You got like really defined curls, but then it's like crunchy and doesn't feel good. Or
Yeah.
you got, it feels really good, but then it's like you don't have any curl definition. So it just depends on like kind of what way somebody really wants to wear their hair as to what they end up choosing, for product. I think about myself, I've been doing hair for 25 years, and never ever have I had only one product line in my salon. And
Yeah.
that's because everything does not work for everyone. So even though I have a product line, it's like I still use some other, products and stuff. So yeah, I definitely need these tips for sure. My ends are dry, and I started that process of just smoothing my hair with conditioner to the ends, right? And make sure when you're doing that, y'all, before adding more conditioner, before adding more product to your hair, add more water, because that is
Yes.
pushing. You are literally forcing your
Yes.
cuticle open. So
Yes.
the porosity level of your hair could just be really low.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have low porosity in your hair, you gotta force it. You gotta force that cuticle open because it's so
Yeah.
tight
Yep.
and nothing wants to get in, you know? And you have to really work with it. You can't just be like, okay, let me go shampoo my hair. Like, and you shampoo it and then be like,
Yes.
get your little brush and stuff. We
Yep.
sometimes get really, what's the name, on the brush, you know, on the curl brushes and stuff like that. We've gotten conditioned to seeing people use that. However, that is great, but you're also taking the mechanical part out of it, the physical part out of it, where you're not actually seeing about your hair because you're not feeling it. All you're doing is styling it. And
Yeah.
you got to go through the process of actually caring for your hair. You got to go through the process of actually feeling your hair. Because if you don't know what's going on until it's like gone. And it's like, when did this happen?
Yeah.
You know?
I
Yeah.
will say, so for me, my wash days are like it's difficult. I do have low porosity, but my thing is
Mm.
when I'm applying shampoo and conditioner, I dip my head back in the water, bring it back out, apply it, dip my head back, bring it back out. I'm not rinsing it out, but I
Right.
am opening up my cuticles.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I'm in there piling on conditioner and it's quite literally sitting on the top of my hair, not doing anything, not going anywhere. So when I do
Right.
that and dip my head back and bring it back, my cuticles are open. You can feel the conditioner doing its job. So
Exactly.
dip your head in that water if you're struggling. And also, when you detangle, please detangle in smaller sections. Also, when you're detangling, always start from the bottom, and work your way
Yes,
up.
Lord. Don't look. It don't take. I'm gonna tell you. You ain't going through it no faster by trying to hurry up. I
I'm
promise
telling. I've tried it, doesn't work.
it doesn't. You might as well go ahead. Listen. Take their hair, section it off, start down there, and just keep going up. And you'll be
Yeah.
amazed at how much actually like like shorter time it actually
Yes.
takes.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. It
it's
makes
one of
it
those things that it's like what did it say? It's they talk about multitasking. Multitasking does not always save time.
right. Efficiency saves
Strategic,
time.
yes,
Also,
yes,
so
exactly.
I did see someone comment about they're still shedding a lot and in the shower when they're doing their wash day, but I will say we lose like is it like 50 to 100 strands a
Per
day?
day. Mm-hmm.
So if you're for me I wash once a week. So you can imagine the amount of hair, that's about to come out of my head on my wash day. So I try not to stress about it. But if you're like the shedding, I will say, like, I think it scares people because it's like you're immediately losing
Mm-hmm.
hair. But it's important to remember you're losing hundreds of pieces of hair a day. So don't like, unless you're seeing like bald spots and like genuine thinning, like,
Right.
I would not worry
Exactly.
about it.
Exactly. I always tell my clients, I'm like, and different times of, and like we talk about diet and different things like that, different times of, and for women, our time of the month,
Yeah.
actually, you experience more shedding at that time,
Yes.
because the blood flow is different. The
Right.
blood flow is different and things. So just really depending on what's going on with you, you may like one week, that week, and you have to really pay attention to what's going on. I had a friend, she was messaging me and she was going crazy. And I asked her, I said, you wouldn't happen to be about to come on your cycle, would you? And she was like, yeah. And I
Yep.
was like, it's okay. She was like, I didn't diagnose myself with stuff and everything,
I
you know,
know.
and
Oh my
because,
God.
and
Yeah.
I was like, it's so many things that
Yeah.
happen, um that happen that we don't really understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when it happens, it's like, yeah, like that, when it comes out like that, you haven't, especially, and then sometimes think about it. One time you may have shampooed your hair was 5 days. The next
Hmm.
time it may have been 10. The next time it may have been 12.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's like, of course, if you went 12 days without shampooing your hair,
Yeah.
expect some hair in that brush. Expect some hair because,
Yeah. And I mean, I've
you know.
extended my wash days, like not like if I'm traveling or
Hmm.
something, and I remember, and I was not able to wash my hair for a while. And when I came home and washed it, I mean, I was like looking at the shower on the floor. And I said, hold on now.
Hmm.
But then I remembered,
Yeah.
I extended my wash day and hair, gets caught up in there. So it's completely normal. I'd say like the
Hmm.
biggest thing that I look out for is
Yeah.
breakage. So that's when I'm getting more like a little more concerned. The shedding, when I see that it's like coming out and you can see the little ball on the end, and I'm like, okay, that came out from my scalp. But
Oh
when it's
no.
when it's little pieces, I'm like, hold on now. Uh-uh.
Right. Right. Like, wait a minute. And this one, and protein is something too. You guys be careful about, because I was looking, it says don't know why the bottom gets so tangled in the shower when I put in conditioner.
Mhm.
Sometimes also the hair, especially when the hair has high porosity, certain conditioners, when you put it in, it actually just may have too much protein in it for
Mhm.
your hair, and so it will literally be like and
Yes.
make the hair hard and start to break it. So you have
I
to be
love
careful.
that.
Yes,
I have
you
that.
have to be careful about that, because um that sometimes will happen.
Yeah.
That will happen, especially if your hair is really, porous. The conditioner or whatever, it just really could be too strong. So.
Yeah. I had that overload of protein. And so to reverse that, I actually double cleansed my hair using like a genuine like cleanser. I think it was from Away. And it made a huge difference just to get all that the protein and whatever off my hair. I mean, it was like night and day
Hmm.
difference.
Yep.
So, and I realized I had a lot of breakage. My hair was not curling like it normally would.
Yeah.
I mean, there was something going on. But the thing that I see a lot of that people need to be wary of is when you see anything that says reparative,
Hmm.
strengthen, you have
Hmm.
got to be careful. It
Yep.
sounds good because you're like, perfect.
Right.
I'm going to keep my
Oh,
hair strong.
right.
Unless your hair genuinely like needs that, it is very dangerous to use it every single wash day. So something
Hmm.
I've done is I have both a protein shampoo and conditioner set and a non-protein shampoo and conditioner
Hmm.
set, and I go back and forth between the both.
Yeah.
And it's a good healthy balance because
Hmm.
I was very protein sensitive because I kept using strengthening,
Hmm.
strengthening. Oh my god, I was
Yeah.
like, dang.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's important.
And we forget our hair. Our hair is keratin. I mean, it's like it's made of,
Yes.
keratin. It's protein.
Yeah.
So it's like too much protein on top of protein on top of protein makes the
Yes.
hair really strong
Yes.
and really hard.
Right.
And then what happens? It goes just like that. And you're
Oh,
like, oh my, it was doing so great.
it was
It was
doing.
growing. It was looking so amazing. And it's like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
bald headed?
I
It's
know.
like, I literally had to
Literally.
cut one of my clients. I had to cut like 4 inches of her hair off because
Yes.
she did a DIY like protein egg wash type thing, and she
Yeah.
decided
Oh,
one time it worked, and it was like she left it on for like 5 minutes, and it did great.
yeah.
And then the next time she was like, it did so good. Maybe I should leave it on longer. Yeah. She literally came in with a cap on her head because she could not get the tangles out. She
Oh,
had knots on the
no.
ends of her hair that I had to cut off.
It's so brittle too. Oh,
I was like, how did this happen?
my
No.
heart. I know that pain. Oh,
Yeah,
I hate that. Oh my
yeah.
God, that's the worst feeling.
If you want to check your um, hair porosity, you can get a glass of water. And if it floats at the top, you can see when you put in a strand of your hair in the water, if it floats at the top, it's high porosity. I mean low porosity,
No
sorry.
problem.
Low porosity, because at that point the hair is like, it's not even sucking that water up. You
Mhm.
want to be somewhere that's in the middle. You want to have medium porosity because it's allowing enough to get in to hydrate the hair, but it's not gonna lose it. And
Yeah.
high porosity is going to sink all the way to the bottom, which means that you really have to focus on, especially that cold water.
Yeah.
When you put that conditioner in, that cold
Yeah.
water to like close that cuticle
Yes.
down. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta shut it down because you've already used the warm water to shampoo it, and
Yeah.
all that water getting everything open. You gotta close that cuticle down.
Yeah.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Um, okay, I saw someone talk about fairy knots. That is
Uh-huh.
one thing. I have had issues with that, but I am not familiar of like the best way to avoid it. So do you have any tips on fairy knots?
So with that, it happens, one of those things too. Now with the whole little knots, and it depends on how long it's been too since the hair has been trimmed. That could also do it, but then also the way the hair is being handled during the shampoo and conditioning process. um you have to be just very intentional also when that happens. If you're intentional, even in the shampoo, start in the shampooing process, smoothing your hair, getting that shampoo down. A lot of times people end up doing this to their hair when they're shampooing. And you're just doing this. Well, those curls are like knotting at the end. They're
Yeah.
knotting. And so when you're doing it, go through the hair with the shampoo in it, and really just, you're not pulling through it, you're smoothing it down. What you're doing at that point is helping that cuticle to relax before you even start to put the conditioner in it. That is going to help a lot with that, to help you not have as much knotting and things at the end. So that sometimes, especially when the hair is fine, to fine medium texture, is going to do that because it wants to grab hold to the other hair and everything. So that's going to help you to just keep it controlled during the shampoo process. Don't just have it all over the place. Keep it controlled.
And
Mm-hmm.
also when I realize I have fine high density hair, and so my strands
Mm-hmm.
are very fragile. So
Yeah.
for me, when I'm applying product to help avoid the fairy knots to the best of my ability, I
Mm-hmm.
always apply it on soaking wet hair.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I really make sure that when I'm going through, I'm being very more cautious on my ends than I am, because my ends are my issue points for me. So
Yeah.
spend a lot of time after I apply the product. I take a spray bottle again and go
Mm-hmm.
over my hair and re-wet it after I've
Yeah.
applied the product. That has made a bigger difference in terms of
Mm-hmm.
my hair drying out nearly as fast, my wash days last
Mm-hmm.
a little longer.
Last
So
longer. Yep.
you just got to spend more time on that styling part, and really don't hold back on that water. Get that spray bottle and go to town.
Yes.
It makes a difference. It really does. Yeah. So
Hey, Mario, RML Car Service. Love you too. That's my brother. Okay, she said that makes sense. Sometimes tend to be a bit crazy washing my hair. Yeah, girl, we all have had those days.
yeah.
Like myself, I be telling y'all all of this, and people wonder why I don't have more videos.
Oh my
They're like,
goodness.
"Oh, show us your day," and I'm like, "See what be happening though." No, I wasn't setting a good example, so I couldn't take no video of me doing my hair today.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Also, thank you so much. It's about my fro. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Oh goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you, when I cut my hair, it was like my fro finally was able to flourish. Like
Yes.
I
Yes.
knew I had to let go of some of these
I
ends.
know.
Like something. And immediately after she cut it was like a flower. Like it was just like whoop. And I was like,
Right. And that's what happens. I
yeah.
literally always compare it. I tell people, I'm like, how do you take care of a plant? You
Yes.
gotta take the dead leaves off. And what happens? Because I like to garden, and I'll go out there, take it off, take those dead leaves and stuff, come back, and boy, I tell you, it's like overnight.
Yes.
Literally, I go
Truly.
out there and I'm like, oh, it's popping out new flowers, popping out new everything. And
Yes.
that's what happens.
Yeah.
Y'all do not be afraid to trim your hair. or cut your hair.
Yeah.
If it's needed, it is needed. Let it go. It is not doing anything for you. Let it go.
Yes.
Let it go.
Yes. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Health over length always. And like your
Yes.
future self will thank you.
Yes.
Truly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
for
Yep.
sure.
Absolutely. Oh, we have what's today? I'm like, we have this has been awesome.
This is fun.
Yeah. Plant mama, awesome. Yeah, but yeah, that's um I guess that's what we've been doing is that we're answering these questions and stuff. So that's
Yeah, if there's any
yeah.
questions, we can definitely wrap up with that for
Yeah.
sure. But,
Awesome. I'm coming up on 5 years with my beautiful afro.
whoop,
I
whoop.
want to maintain it, continue glowing. That's right. Continue glowing, mama. Yes, yes, yes. Always. You gotta start. You 5 years and that's what. Thanks, babe. um, yes, I'm a plant mama and yep. So yeah. Awesome. Well, I let's see, I was gonna say something. Um it seemed like there was do I guess my ends are strong one at a time length. I know my ends hold the key to my length. Oh, she said I want to ends. Yeah, I want to retain length. Yeah, yeah. Let that length go. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all, if it's unhealthy, that's not length. It's just there. Yeah,
Yeah.
let it go.
Hmm.
It's not true length, and it's gonna end up breaking up and up. And then when you finally realize that you gotta let it go, and then it's gonna be shorter than what you even had to have gone if
Yeah.
you had done it earlier.
It will travel up that hair shaft quicker than you realize. Like, gotta let it go.
Hmm.
So, and then what's the best products for same day fro, like after a wash? So you can also weigh in on this because I found that I normally don't like to refresh my fro during the
Hmm.
week,
Hmm.
and apply more product to it.
Right.
But during the winter time, I have found that I've done an 80% mix of like water and a little bit of a spray leave-in conditioner.
Hmm.
And I just kind of go over my ends a little bit throughout the week or to kind of help refluff some stuff. But
Hmm.
I don't,
Hmm.
I recommend always using something that's diluted because when you keep applying more product to your
Right.
hair,
It builds
it's just
up.
going to build up and weigh it
Yep.
down.
Yep.
So that's what I do to kind of refresh my hair throughout the week. Otherwise, I think the best thing to do is really to leave it
Hmm.
alone. But I always would use 80% water and 20% of like another leave-in
Hmm.
conditioner spray. Shake it up, do a little spritz, not a lot, just enough,
Yeah.
and keep it pushing. So
Yeah, because what I mean, you already have product. If you are using, a good product in your hair, it shouldn't be gone. Where did it go? Like it didn't evaporate. It's still like there. So I
mhm.
know for me, my hair is like fresh right now, but it gets bigger and bigger over, the days and everything like that. But
Mhm.
I'll just take a little bit of, water on my hand
Yep.
to like refresh it.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I have like, my curl cream foam and a gel, like, that I put in my hair, but like it didn't go anywhere. So
Mhm.
over time, I just, I can just go in there, get a little spritz of water and just, rehydrate it, because
Yeah.
really that's really what's happening. It just wants to be, freshened up some.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she'll twist it and then pick it after it's been okay, twisted. Yeah. I recommend
Mm-hmm.
that because that's why I say it's important on your wash day. How you apply that product will definitely prevent you from having to worry about it so much throughout the week. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely just, I use a curl foam and twist it in two knots. Okay.
Yeah.
So my thing, I can't use foams really on my hair. I like, again, I have fine, like high density hair,
Mm-hmm.
but like my hair does not do well with foams. I do really well with cream, like
Mm-hmm.
lotion. So I'm not familiar with foams. I have used some to kind of touch up some curls, but
Yeah.
I've never styled my whole head like with foam
Yeah.
on my head. So
And that's what I have the foam, the curl
hmm
pop foam. And my
yeah.
curl pop foam that I make, that was one of the reasons why I made it, to refresh, like to just take, like to put a piece and like, take some of the foam, like just a little bit, to be
Mhm.
like refresh a couple of little spots,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything. But then also, some people just like need their hair to be lighter,
Hmm.
so I created the foam for that light definition, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that the hair can still have, movement and all of that,
Yeah.
so yeah. So definitely a foam is good, especially if you're gonna do it when it's dry,
Hmm.
I have my clients, they'll like, I blow dry it out and then put the foam on it, and like, some of them like, and then kind of use the foam to set it,
Yeah.
kind of like back in the day, like the Nairobi foam.
Yeah.
Everybody set, yeah, everybody used it to set, but it was, I, wanted to use, of course, more natural ingredients and something that was gonna feed the hair,
Yeah.
so it's lighter and not as like heavy,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
everything. So yeah, foams definitely are good for that. How amazing this information is. Aw, that's awesome. Yay. Well, we were hoping, we wanted to, when we talked, it was amazing because we had, so much like things that we were like meshing same thoughts on. And it was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is so amazing. This is so amazing. I'm like, we gotta go live together.
I know. I'm
So
so glad.
thank y'all for, tuning in, popping in, and like hanging out with us for a bit,
Yeah.
and everything. You'll save this live.
Yeah, I think it'll save. I can hit the three dots to save it.
Oh,
Yay.
okay. Okay. Yeah, so I'll save it on both of my pages and stuff too. So yeah. Um okay. Well, this is, was it? It's naturally Dot Alley.
Yeah.
Y'all make sure to give her a follow. My peoples that's on here, I'm sure they already have and will. But yeah, and I'm Rhonda with Linda's Mix and Hair by Rondiva.
Yes. Also, y'all, okay, listen, if y'all are interested in her products, let me tell you something. My husband's been using it.
Oh, has he used it
He
again?
loves it. And
Oh,
listen, and he has psoriasis
okay.
on his scalp and he struggles. And we've tried every medicated shampoo.
Uh-huh.
This man could not find anything. Her products, y'all, game changer. Game
Oh, I'm
changer.
so happy to hear
Yes,
that.
it really
Oh,
works. So thank
that's
you
so
because
awesome.
yeah,
Okay.
he's not scratching, but
Yeah,
he really
okay.
is. And I've been
Yay.
keeping it too because he's sitting there just
I know,
he has not touched
yeah.
his head. So
I
thank
used to be
you.
the same way, and my son, that's why I started formulating in the beginning, because it's like, man, I could not, it's, I didn't want to see my son struggle with that,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's,
true.
it's already hard enough when you're growing up and then you got something, and then, people
Yeah.
looking at you like, oh, what's on your head? What's that, and it's like,
Mhm.
no, I wanted him to feel confident, and things like that walking around, so I I got to work. I got to work
Yes.
5 years ago and
Yes.
to get to here. So yeah, I'm so happy that
Okay,
that's
put your
helping him.
product in there one more time in the comment section for them. I think some people are asking.
Okay. Maybe it's, yes, I'm Rhonda. Um Linda's Mix.com. Oh, and actually the page I'm going live from.
Well, there you go.
I'm like,
Perfect.
the link is in my bio.
Yes, definitely check it out,
Just,
y'all.
yeah, on lindasmix.com. I was just like, oh yeah, duh. I'm like, oh, I'm live.
That would have been me too. I would have been like, dang, making it harder for myself.
So yeah, I'm like, yeah, link is in the bio. Yes, thanks, Amy. Awesome. Well, it has been so awesome
Yeah.
to be, I mean, yeah, it went, yeah, this has been awesome. I love to educate. I love to, teach ones. Um, I like to do the, I used to do curl talk, and gotta start it back going. But you guys give me a follow over at Linda's Mix and Hair by Rondiva, and I will, continue to, help to try to grow the positivity in the community, because it's something that is needed,
Yeah.
across the board with curly hair. No matter what cultural background you are, is I find the same things that go on in the with the curly hair community, and
Yeah.
not feeling enough,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
All right, lady.
I gotta figure out how to save it. Oh, I think when I leave it, it asks if I can save it. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not
And I
saving.
guess maybe since I was live with you, it saves on my end too, or maybe I just close it.
Oh, I don't know. Do you see three dots at the top of your next to the X?
But it just says copy, and then it says share to. I
Um,
think it's when you
yeah,
end it, yeah,
it'll
it'll
ask.
say, do you want to
Okay,
save it?
perfect.
And if anything, I think I can just do repost it if it doesn't do it on my page.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
We'll fix
that
that.
way, because I'm gonna save it to my other page also, just so that those that may have missed it or whatever can see the replay.
Yay,
Yeah.
perfect. Oh, okay, I started it, so I can save it. Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
see that.
Thank you.
Yes. All right,
All
y'all.
right.
We out of here.
All right, y'all. Have a wonderful night and lots of curl love to all of you beauties.
Absolutely.
All right. Good
Okay, bye,
night.
guys.
Bye.